Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. And now,
broadcasting live.
We will broadcast
live. This is Extra Class, streaming to the world and beyond.
Hey, let's go.
You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.
Good night, everyone. Let me know if you're seeing me clearly. Let me know if you're hearing me clearly. If you're seeing and hearing me clearly, welcome to another episode of Extra Class. Episode number 344. I feel like me I talk loud. You understand? Big up to the peeps them. You seeing? Tonight, I know some people surprised. But before we do that, let me bring on somebody quick and fast. And thing. Talk your talk, Baba boy.
Oh, who you talking? Good night, guys. Good night. I hope everyone is okay. Happy New Year. I know we're in February, but it's the first I've been on since the year started. So Happy New Year to everyone. Good night. Looking forward to having a lovely class this evening.
Brother, your headphone bigger than me head.
Money cover all of my ears.
That's who get small, lower profile headphone. Yeah, peeps. So I say tonight, I never stream last night because I try to set up a little thing at my yard where Scotty I use a fair yard and then I end up go down there go set it up. So you know, I didn't stream last night. So I do a little test run in the night and see what I go and still. So we kind of work on the setup down at Scotty place. You understand? And we are trying to make case and do it in a make me case. We don't know something. You understand? But in the night I want to talk about a few little things. You see, some FLA sitting been a go on, you understand? And the FLA thing kind of involves Jack Currie and Chief Richard Currie and something INDECOM report. And about 900 people dead in the last couple of days, yeah, man. It's all, you understand? I know so much, but you know, far from it. You see, enough people. So, we are talking about them things, because the things that are away. You understand? Thing rough for that night or that day. Peace, big up on yourself. Yo, that headphone thing I don't love it. You understand? I sound like my drive truck. Yeah, peace, but big up on yourself. So we're there. You understand? I know me and Scotty here and everything in the night. I wish I should have over here, so. Yes, and them something there. And thing. Big up to the people in the building. You see? Big up to everybody where, you understand? I know so on a party on a Saturday night and go up on a date night and then sit down on a late night. But we're there. You see me? Talk about a few things. So the INDECOM report for, I'm not too sure when, was released recently, and a lot of revelations were made and thing. And they made some recommendations also, and then something there. So or chat small, so hold on there. They make some recommendations and try to police them on one and a few levels and then something. So in the report it says that 127 fatally shot, 68 injured by the security forces in 2021. So for 2021, 127 fatal shootings occurred involving the police, while 68 were injured. I think so far for the year, I think 19 killed or 22 killed and I don't remember, but that's some another region there. I'm going to look on it up to February, one of them days. So the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, is reporting that 127 people were fatally shot by members of the security forces last year, and a further 68 were shot and injured. So the fatalities represent a 10% increase when compared to the 115 killed in 2020. So, what that? So, I can't count it out. 12 more people were killed last year compared to 2020 by the police, while a 26% reduction was recorded with 92 people shot and injured over a similar period. So the disclosure was made by Assistant Commissioner of INDECOM, Amish Campbell, during a press conference recently. So Campbell said the police accounted for I'm going to change over something so I can hear Scotty clearly. I hope you don't mash up nothing, you know, from my computer, from my speaker, what I have here. OWC. Talk it talk.
Hello.
I'm still hearing on my headphone. I'm going to probably change it up here, so. Hold on there. Preferences. Audio. Speaker. OWC. Talk it talk.
Hello.
The speaker.
You still hear me in echo? Yep.
I'm not hear yet. Hold on. Talk now?
Good. I'm talking, you're not hearing me?
Oh, man, I hear you now.
I'm hearing it. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah, fool. You love to have a man a dance like I alone go to school. Earpiece, echo cancellation. Okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing that echo.
Yeah, you hear echo?
Not anymore.
Oh, it's on now.
Good.
Okay. Let me know if you hear echo. You see it? Alright. So, yeah, this sound better now. Campbell said the police accounted for 118 of the 127 fatalities recorded last year, while soldiers accounted for 9. So 9 were killed by members of the military, while 118 were killed by members of the JCF. He said the increase in fatal shootings in 2021 marks the second consecutive year the figures have climbed, noting that in 2019, 86 persons were fatally shot by the security forces. Now, Campbell said since January, 19 fatal shootings have occurred, 2 more than the entire months of January and February last year. Oh, so I'll go on. February is not yet concluded, but there's evidence of the same early increase in the pattern to that of 2017-2018, when by the end of January and February, over 20 people had been fatally wounded, and the end of the year totals were 168 and 137 respectively. However, he noted that there is a longer-term trend of significant fall in fatal shootings by the security forces. Good. Campbell said between 2005 and 2021, 3,105 people were shot dead by the security forces. A lot of people, I don't know.
That's a lot.
You know what, at 15, 16 years? Wow. He said after examining the 17-year period in 2 parts, a reduction is evident. So whilst last year there was an increase and the year before, overall for the 15-16-year period there has been a reduction. For the 9-year period between 2005 and 2013, 2,145 people were killed, translating to over 200 fatalities by the security forces per year. Now for the 8-year period between 2014 and now, 960 people were killed, amounting to just over 100 per year. So that's about 100 people less a year compared to the previous 9 years and thing. Yes, I not have the whole of the story them, but they must say some things, you know, the police use of body camera is woefully lacking, and in instances where they were supposed to be used, they have been requesting video footage from the police, and in none of those instances have they been furnished with with body cam footage. I don't know where there.
The camera's not working.
Oh, you say the camera then not work? Yeah, like yours, can you look too soft, so you're supposed to look sharp. I don't know why problem. I don't know why problem, but we figure that out. I'm say we test tonight still, so and thing. Your headphone distract me still, I'm not telling no lie.
You see, yeah, them people
Yo.
give me stuff and then you come here.
It's that way. Right, so and they are saying also that the police are too quick to shoot in instances involving mentally ill people, and them say some other things. Yes, I think there's an agreement within the police force that once a police gun goes off accidental, because there have been cases of police accidentally shoot police and shoot themselves and this, you know. Once an officer gun goes off accidentally, they has to go back to training and be recertified. And they must say based on that, them now see based on the data them have, them now see not no retraining that take place and no recertification. You understand? So the INDECOM report is very interesting on some levels. I read through it with a fine tooth comb, but I see bits and pieces, and you understand? I know some people are anti-INDECOM, and the flip side of that, you have some people who are anti-police, but in order for the situation to be cauterized, the crime situation, we need a mix of both, in my opinion. You understand? Whilst INDECOM kind of slow the police role sometimes on a local level, you're seeing them have them place because we have some criminal police officers where, you understand, and thing. So I don't even know. Scotty, so the assassin boy, you eyelash them.
Nobody just send them on me.
Yeah, man, Richie said. Richie said you can't make them. Scotty, blink if you need help. Yeah. Jaja. So, I don't know, yeah, man. But it's interesting to note that police killings have been trending downwards compared to the previous decade and such. You understand? I suppose that the presence of INDECOM may have influenced that and these things. So, I don't know. But the body cam thing, sis, what you want, you could have laughed right now till tomorrow. The man them need to get every police officer should have on a body kit. A body camera. Turn on. Recording. Okay. You see? I mean, in the interest of justice, it is the right way to go. Look like she get kidnapped teach. Boy, but we don't do that. You have to go outside that, brother. So, yeah, that's what the INDECOM thing I say. So I could talk about some other things, you know. Because this is one of the things where I find strange of late where you need to come off your phone to stream and stream. See?
I can't see it from over here.
Because your eyelash are black here.
Like, you have a problem with my eyelash?
I've been telling you that already, right? That's not a secret. I'll make you come up bigger too. Everybody see you. You understand? Yeah, so what I find strange is that in recent times, the police seizure of many guns recently, you know, a lot has been said that, the police them just have find gun on them something. And I find that to be so like...
Really?
Yeah, man, such an uninformed statement, because the truth is that when we used to stream regular, every night for the first 15-20 minutes of the stream, we had to talk about guns that have been seized by the police. You understand? But, you know, people strange these days still. If I couldn't get Scotty a sexy headphone, man give them friend what they got, sir. But our next headphone, there's a headphone like this. See? Just like this. But when we do call-in stream, and that one never stay in our studio, brother. You understand? So shall we just go and beat that one till the time being. Strengthen our neck. You understand? And things. You shouldn't get sexy headphone, man. And things. Plus, we need to work on our setup, make sure it kind of, you know what I mean? I don't know why it looks so soft. It's not supposed to look so soft, but probably need to work on the lighting and background and everything. So, yeah, make it look good, man. Just give me a look at that. Last night, I go set you. You see it? So, watch out now. Gunman changes plea to guilty in mid-trial. So, I'm going to deal with that before I talk about your gun them. So, a man say I'm not guilty, sir. And then I make like a trial. He decides saying he's not guilty now. So, accused Ricardo Campbell on Tuesday changes plea to guilty midway's trial for illegal possession of firearm and ammunition in the Kingston Gun Court. Seemingly surprised by the arrival of prosecution witness District Constable Jason McKay, Campbell, who was arrested during a stop-and search last July in Garvey Mead, Portmore, St. Catherine, made an about turn on Tuesday, changing his plea from not guilty. McKay, a member of the St. Catherine South Police Division's Special Operations Unit, was and Constable, let me take time out to say this. Constable Jason McKay is a brilliant officer. As a matter of fact, I think he got his PhD recently. I think it's something to do with criminology and them something. And brilliant fellow, brilliant. He writes a column in the think it's in the Gleaner, the Observer as well, and thing. And it's one of them police officers there were really and truly did go to school and never farm fool. You see me? And he is, if you know who you are look for, many times when the Special Operations Unit is out, he's out there. But you have to know him if you know him. You understand? So I could continue. I said that. So if Constable Makia watch, big up yourself, my boss. I hope your colleagues look at you as an inspiration, and your mannerism and your drive to effect the nation's crime rate in a way that it is stabilized or reduced should rub off upon them. You understand? So, Mackay, a member of the St. Catherine South Police Division Special Operations Unit, was previously listed as being unavailable to give evidence. So that's why General did say him not guilty, you know, because he knows that Mackay will reach. You understand? So when Mackay reach, he decides he nobody not guilty. So the court had earlier heard from Constable Delano Dunn, also a member of the St. Catherine South Police Division Special Operations Unit. Dunn gave evidence that he had seized a Browning pistol with 13 rounds of ammunition from Campbell. Now, a March 8, 2022 sentencing date has been set for Campbell. Tess, pick up yourself. I wonder if you're married with kids, because the last time I see you, the devil was still a boy. You understand? But big up yourself. Hope all is well. You see me? Yeah, man, imagine you did it for your not guilty thing, and because you say Mackay now forward and then you say Mackay show up. That's rough. Man held after lead results in gun seizure by cops in August town. So a man is now in custody following the seizure of a firearm by the St. Andrew Central Police on Buemount Road in August town in the parish on Wednesday, February 16. Now reports are that about 6:40 a.m. a police team was following investigative leads when they went to a house in the area. The team seized a burst 9mm pistol with 13 9mm rounds during a search that was conducted. Now, the identity of the man who was arrested is being withheld pending further investigation. Big up to the police them there. 4 arrested in connection with firearm seizure in St. Ann. So 4 people, including a woman, were arrested in St. Ann on Tuesday evening following the seizure of an illegal gun. So the police had been searching for suspects and illegal firearms in Libertyville, Brownstown. A search of several houses led to the discovery and the seizure of a pistol containing 11 rounds. The woman and 3 men were held in connection. So how much gun that we got already? 2. Man in custody following police chase in St. Andrew. Some man was this afternoon taken into custody and a motorcycle believed to have been stolen from a policeman seized following a police chase which ended on Castle Drive in Stone Hill, St. Andrew. The policeman was shot and had his bike and guns stolen along Municipal Boulevard in Portmore, St. Catherine on Monday. It was reported that the policeman was reportedly driving a motorcycle when he was attacked by criminals who reportedly shot him in the back. He is said to have lost control of the motorcycle which crashed. The attackers stole the motorcycle as well as the policeman's service firearm and escaped. So the cop was found the following morning on the scene and was taken to hospital. Just to give some information on that, I saw an article before I started streaming which says he's not doing well at all. As a matter of fact, the police official that spoke said that doctors have requested that visits be limited. He's struggling to breathe. Plus, I have also heard some unconfirmed reports showing some other things where if I saw it go, it don't look good. But I can't say it because I can't verify it. You understand? I saw some information as to his condition last night. I don't think I received, but let me check. No, I mean I get nothing yet. You see? So, but based on what I hear, you know, look good. So, yeah. Georgia. Shotgun found following killing of woman at fishing village. So a shotgun was seized on Tuesday while the police were searching for a suspect in the killing of a female vendor at the Old Harbour fishing village in St. Catherine. About 3:30 p.m., shortly after 51-year-old Patsy Coleman was shot by thugs, the police received information that one of the suspects was seen in Spot Valley, St. Catherine. When the police went to the area, the man reportedly fled. While the police were conducting a search, they found the shotgun in an abandoned house. Georgia. So on Tuesday, it was reported that one of the suspects in the killing of Miss Coleman was attacked by residents of the Old Harbour fishing village. As much thing I go on in a bay? Georgia. So test what go on in your life, mama. All is well. Brothers charged for a murder of woman at wholesale in Westmoreland. I remember covering this story one of them time. So, Nigel Walters, 21 years old. Him and how much? 21. Otherwise called Troy of Charlestown District in St. Mary. Place that you know. And Lennox, of Charlestown District in St. Mary. And Lennox Big Woods in Westmoreland. Lennox Big Woods are my place. And 24-year-old Nicholas Walters of Charlestown District were charged with 2 counts of murder and illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. So the court date is being finalized. You see? So businesswoman 45-year-old Sophia Brown and 58-year-old Bernie Lewis, a farmer and domestic helper, both of Long Hill District in White House, Westmoreland, were gunned down on Wednesday, January 12. So the police reported at about 2:10 p.m. Brown was at her business establishment when the brothers entered the establishment posing as customers. Brown and Lewis were assisting the men when they opened gunfire at them. According to the police, both men then proceeded to take an undetermined amount of cash and grocery items. The women were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. Now on Monday, February 7th, both men were positively identified by a witness on CCTV footage taken from the establishment that captured the incident, the police indicated. Or there was CCTV footage. I never know that. I forget you a big a screen where you can see what I'm going. By the time I don't set up the
It's all like a lot of killing.
I tell them, by the time I don't set up the summer broke. That me I see what say. Alright, where you say you go? So that are 2 brothers that you know. And me I say, then my brother, Zane, could they look for me and tell me, say me and him I go rob and kill somebody, and me not kick him down. So, not only saying tell me no, but me follow and go kill and rob people. Tell the boy. And them are not twin, you know. One all and one.
But none of smart.
None of them no sensible, brother. But yeah, bigger joke. That are one set of brothers, you know. Brothers charged a murder of Trelawney farmer. You know, so we have a brother problem around here. 2 brothers have been charged with the murder of 68-year-old Winston Stewart, otherwise called Mana, a farmer of Mackhill District, Clarkstown in Trelawney. Charged with murder and conspiracy to prevent the lawful burial of a corpse or 46. That's an offense, well, and charged for murder and conspiracy to prevent the lawful burial of a corpse. Yeah? Our 46-year-old Andrew Green, otherwise called Denty, and 49-year-old Alan Green, otherwise called Currie, farmers of Clarkstown in Trelawney. So the police report that on February 1, Stewart was reported missing. According to the police, a man turned himself into cops and he reportedly confessed that the brothers were seen with Stewart's body. Ratted. The police say both men were taken into custody where they reportedly admitted that they chopped Stewart to death and burnt his body on his farm. Jaja. Tess. Yes, some family members that not sound healthy. My condolences, and you also contracted COVID. Alright, so that look like you know work out so bad. Give thanks. I'm glad you're still there, boy. I am sorry to hear that you lost family members. I guess we need to talk one of them time. You see
My
me?
condolences, Tess.
You know what thing go. Yes, Cookie, them chop up elder and watch out. Them are two brothers are big man, you know, one a 46 and one a 49, you know.
But brother, they must mad. Them can't write it.
They can't mad man, they sense so. Or they know something if you burn anybody and they sit. They're not mad. You understand? Why? I don't know. I mean, you have to have a whole heap of murder, hold on, no move. We done done it now. How much pair of brothers we talk about already?
3.
2. See your eyelash heavy? 2. So watch out now. Watch out now, you know. St. Mary brothers charged with murder of Chinese couple. Police have confirmed that 2 brothers have been charged for last December's murder of a Chinese couple in Bellevue near Southfield in St. Elizabeth. Business owners 53-year-old Cheyenne Su and 48-year-old Hai Kong Wan were killed when gunmen held up Jojo supermarket in the Bellevue district on December 23rd, 2021. 3 gunmen were caught on a closed-circuit television CCTV system posing as customers in the supermarket before killing the Chinese couple. So a police source said the brothers, Nigel and Nicholas Walters, both from St. Mary, were apprehended in 2 recent operations in the Newmarket police area in St. Elizabeth and St. Anne. The source said another brother is also in custody in relation to a recent shootout in St. Elizabeth. But is that one of them brother in relation to the murder of a Chinese couple? A third suspect, Tommy Thompson, remains on the run. So, 2... Oh, do. I know them brothers grew up in a good home, you know.
More than likely.
Well, I know more than likely still, but it's possible. Because... I know what thing go. Why? The brother thing rough. It had 3 pair of brothers. Well, one of them are 3 of them. Them involved in a foolishness. And thing.
I don't like the things even, but a good things.
Yeah? A good link that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. Cause, Jaja. Yeah, big up to the people over there. But I first we stream on a Saturday night. I think so. My premiere on Saturday night already, but I never stream on another party. I'm hungry, you know.
Really?
Yeah, man. You know why people hungry? Me and then I eat.
You see I'm hungry from man, you're curious.
I never this one I did hungry. Last time I did hungry. Jaja. Yeah. Teacher could leave prison in 10 years after sex with schoolgirl. So a high school teacher in Manchester who admitted to having sexual intercourse with a 14-year-old student on the school compound has been sentenced to almost 14 years in prison. Jaja. The convicted teacher, whose name is to be added to the sex offenders registry, will be eligible after serving 10 years. The student went to the teacher's office to do an assignment in May of 2019 when he made sexual advances towards her and engaged in a sexual act. Ja. The teacher, however, pleaded guilty to having sexual intercourse with a person under 16 when he appeared in the Supreme Court in December last year and was sentenced by Justice Lorna Shelley Williams on February 1. Is that woman sentenced? The man just get 14 years?
Continue reading. You got more than that. That thing after something.
A plea bargain and reduction and sitting. Okay.
Yeah.
In the recently published judgment, oh, you sent me the judgment, you know, I'm not get to read it yet. It was noted that the teacher's DNA sample was collected and the result had shown that he could not be excluded. Then he's not saying guilty already. Him. According to the facts of the case, on the day of the incident, the teacher kissed the student while she was in his office and proceeded to pull down her underwear before laying her down on a desk and had sex with her. The student went home and her mother noticed blood on her tunic and took her to the police station to make a report. Justice Shelley Williams, I think in the judgment, there's mention that he told the child that he wants some more Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh boy. Justice Shelley Williams, in handing down the sentence, highlighted a number of aggravating factors, including the student's age, the fact that the defendant was the complainant's teacher, and that he had sex with the student on the school compound while she was in her uniform. That sounds like a more rape than sex, you know. Then when we think about it, like. Right, but me I said that we I say had sexual intercourse. Me need to read the full judgment because apparently more info in it where me need to see because show me there. The judge, however, credited the defendant for his guilty plea, his favorable antecedents, and his social inquiry report. Judge. She explained that she started her considerations for sentencing at 15 years and added 5 years for aggravating factors, so that at 20. The defendant also received a 20% discount for the early plea he had given on the first occasion after DNA results were obtained. At the same time, the judge noted that I would also consider that in the circumstances, any large discount from the sentence would shock the public conscience. It definitely would. Because right now some people probably shot by 20%, much less. She further indicated that his sentence was reduced by 2 months and 2 weeks for time spent in custody and a year each for report of good antecedents and social inquiry report. Judge. Attorney at law Charles Benbow represented the teacher, while Assistant Director of Prosecutions Natalie Malcolm and Crown Counsel Daniel Kitson Walters led the prosecution. But you want some more Wednesday? Let me take the opportunity here to say a thing still, because as a teacher who started out very young, you see, a road they rough, bad. You have to know, you have to be careful, family. Certain things you just take with yourself from, certain things you just don't even make cross your mind. You understand?
But, leave it alone.
No, talk to me, man. You come here to talk, you know, you think you come here to look in your phone?
I'm saying that, like, 14-year-old, little girl, like grade 9, 18 or grade 9. And you have to tell her, say you want some more Wednesday?
After you violate her.
You want more Wednesday?
Ah, boy. So the man dash him life over what?
The teacher at the school. Oh, you're so comfortable.
She are 14 no matter where.
Oh, you're so comfortable. Like nobody don't come in your office. What?
Watch her. Scotty. Forget about the school and office. The pitney are 14.
That.
So this man would probably struggle to go through college financially. Done college, but that's all I pay a student loan.
You're not struggling enough, obviously. You're not struggling.
And then you just take away your life, you just dash away your life, so. And after you violate the child, you tell the child you want some more Wednesday.
I want some more Wednesday. Like, where do you get off?
Why? Watch out. There have been history is replete with instances and situations like these. And I don't know if the young males who are still in education or going into education are not familiar with these cases and these situations where coaches and teachers are serving time because of situations like these.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Mm-hmm. Cha-cha. But we move on here, sir. Speaking about some foolishness. St. Mary man accused of buggery further remanded. 38-year-old Sheridan Shepherd of Highgate in St. Mary, who is charged with 5 counts of buggery, grievous sexual assault and indecent assault, was further remanded when he appeared in the Portmore Parish Court on Thursday. Shepherd was ordered to return to court on March 17 for a committal hearing, on which time it is expected that the matter will be transferred to the Circuit Court. Thursday's proceedings were held in camera due to the nature of the case. Now, Shepherd is being accused of sexually assaulting minors who range between 6 and 12 years old. Ah, boy. He was charged in June of 2021. It is being alleged that several parents in the Highgate here reportedly left their children in Shepherd's care. Oh, Mr. Shepherd, who was offering counseling sessions to them. Minors. Police sources also revealed that residents who got wind of the alleged sexual assault attacked him and that he was severely beaten. He was subsequently taken into police custody and later charged. Ah, boy. Parents, be careful, you see? Right now, if you want your child to get counseling, you got to pay for a reputable counseling agency, center, situation, place, because
Boy, teacher, I mean, I said, boy, sometimes it's not even that you are not careful as a parent. Because remember, it might be most times when you have
somebody with them know.
things happening, close family friends.
Friends, right?
Persons who would have been a part of your family, you might have grown up seeing them come into the house, interacting with them. So, teacher, your parents not think, say, uncle have a touch you like that, or uncle have a do that to you. Because this is somebody that they would have trusted.
Yeah, but as me and Scotty, there has been so many cases where tell us you don't trust them.
So it's like basically you can't trust nobody, you know, sir.
Right.
That it come down to. You can't trust no shadow, with that dark eye.
Brother, if you work 31 hours today and a 24 hours in a day, how will make your day?
I know that.
Silver. We are fast. Boy, you work 31 hours in a day. And a 24 hours in a day.
Leave the man like a couple hours at the coffee.
Jaja. So, boy, I don't know. I not even make. Sure.
It's sad though.
See, more time. Sometimes it's out up on your mind.
You get in that trouble?
Yes. And trouble don't fit me, you know. Gunshot victim found in rubbish heap. The Cambridge police are carrying out an investigation into the murder of a man whose body was found in a rubbish heap in Mount Pelier, St. James on Wednesday. I think they're done with the whole murder story, you know.
You're right.
Silver, I see what I see, brother. Now tell me what I see. I see what I see. I see you walk 30 hours and a 24 hour day. The victim has been identified as 21-year-old Brandon Dorman, otherwise called Barrington, a mechanic of Mount Pelier. Now, reports by the Cambridge police are that about 2 a.m., residents reported hearing gunshots coming from a section of the community and alerted them. Upon the arrival of the lawmen, Dorman was discovered barefooted, clad in only his underpants and merino, lying face down in rubbish. He had multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. He was transported to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where he died while undergoing treatment about 7:30 a.m. It is believed that Dorman was at a house in the community when gunmen forced their way inside the dwelling. He allegedly ran from the house, but the gunmen caught up with him along the roadway and opened gunfire, hitting him before escaping in the area. The scene was revisited and processed by detectives attached to the Anchovy and the Cambridge police stations. Now, an investigator said that the police have not yet come up with a motive for this killing. We believe it could have stemmed from a feud between men from the community of Mount Pelier, the officer stated. But it is still early days yet and the police are hoping to make headways into their investigation. Dorman was about the 37th person killed in St. James since the start of the year. Westmoreland family homeless after house shut up and set on fire. And Westmoreland family of 5 is now homeless after their home was set on fire. 2 cars that were in the yard were also set ablaze. The Scotland Belvedere family, which includes children, reported that sometime around 2:30 this morning, they heard several gunshots, and shortly after, the house was seen on fire. They managed to flee the burning house, which became engulfed and was destroyed. The family has been left devastated by the loss. A man is being sought by the police in relation to the incident, and investigators say several spent shells were removed from the scene. Ah, boy.
Tired.
Sometimes it is amazing to learn what is the trigger behind some of these incidents, you know. Sometimes you want to believe. Like, I don't know why, you know. But me I say it would be interesting to find out, because some triggers that I have learned that have make some things happen and spiral out of control. Like, yeah, still gonna wonder how it thing reaches. So. Like, me hear of a case where a scammer up on his phone. See? And him in the last stage for conning victim. And one yang right pass. So yang now kind of game way.
Disturbing card.
Yeah, because I'm not just disturbing card. You cannot call me from one entity, one reputable entity, and you're there beside yang. You just bike out the road. So him and the bike man kick off. End up, bike man get shot. See? Bike man dead. Scammer man get shot. Scammer man dead. Family for bike man get shot. Family for bike man dead. Family for scammer get shot. Family for scammer dead. And I saw it about 12 people dead.
Wow.
How much people me said it? How much people me said it? About 12 people dead. You are the wrong man right past on his bike. And 12 people dead. Alright. And that's how we reach 19. And them news that my phone feel heavy. Jaja.
That's true.
We not done yet. Licensed firearm holder killed outside bank in Montego Bay. Yes. The Freeport police are probing the shooting death of a man outside JN Bank in Cathinall, Montego Bay, St. James. I think it was yesterday. The victim, who is said to be from an upscale community in Montego Bay, was not identified when the article was published. We don't know if he has been identified since, but it is reported at about 11 a.m. the man drove to the bank to conduct business and was attacked by armed men as he exited his motor car. So you don't want to rob with that, because they don't wait till he come from the bank. Unless he might carry money guy back. Well, I don't know. The victim, who was also a licensed firearm holder, was chased a short distance on the compound before he was shot multiple times. He died on the spot. I need a cereal beer here. Man shot and killed. Woman injured in Clarendon. Tell them my name done. The Maypen police in Clarendon are investigating the murder of a businessman and the shooting of a woman in Burby district last night. See, I make car drive past, I disrupt my thing like, oh, you man ride past, you know. The deceased has been identified as 37-year-old Ian Ellington, otherwise known as Toto British, of Hunts Pen in the parish, of Hunts Pen in Clarendon. It is reported that about 11:15 p.m., explosions were heard and the police summoned. On their arrival, Ellington and the injured woman were taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead, and the woman was admitted and is in stable condition. So a police source disclosed that Ellington was found in a vehicle slumped over the steering wheel, and the female managed to escape from the car but was shot while attempting to flee the gun attack. Scotty, I run me a drink. We're in Clarendon is the Maypen police, we're not sure. I'm not sure. You know said. I compare your drink. A lie I tell. That look like a crystal light.
That's why I have to take a stop.
Can't be glimpsy, you know. Yeah, drink campfire with straw. No.
Why
Man
you can't
shot
drink
dead and
campfire
throw
with
with
straw?
St. James. Eh?
Why you can't drink campfire with
People
straw?
not drink campfire with them big old straw there, brother. If a guy bar and place them when they get a local straw, them two of them like fine, but now then a big old straw we can drain job. Scammer them buy a lot of the weapons, waiting on war to start. 21-year-old, let me read that already. I just listen to that. Man gunned down in Lawrence Tavern. I think he's a Rastafarian. Some man has been shot and killed in the community of Tavern Gully in Lawrence Tavern, St. Andrew. He has been identified as Omar Gray. I remember him a Rasta man. I don't know. Residents reported hearing explosions and alerted the police. On the arrival of the police, I read my child don't read them sitting here fast, you know. On arrival, the police say Gray was found suffering from gunshot wounds. He died on the spot. Elderly man killed, another injured in an attack at a bar in Manchester. The police in Manchester are yet to establish a motive for yesterday's shooting of two men, one fatally in the community of Top Greenvale. The deceased has been identified as 76-year-old Teddy Clark, otherwise called Pussneck. One of them killed Pussneck Rasta. It is reported at about 6 p.m. on Thursday, and other men were at a bar in the community when gunmen came up and opened fire. Both men were hit. The attackers fled the scene. Me tired.
Man, it's a lot.
Man shot dead at St. James Shopping Centre. Police officers, when the article was published, it says police officers were still at the scene at the Megamart complex in Cafe Hall, St. James, where a man had been shot and killed. The man wasn't identified at the time that the article was published, but was seen wearing a black t-shirt, blue jeans, short pants, and a camouflage colored Crocs. He is of light complexion and sporting a number of tattoos. Now, information is that the man was exiting one of the places of business on the plaza when he was pounced upon by unknown assailants. He was shot multiple times before the perpetrators of the crime fled the scene. The incident has so far led to an interruption of business at the complex, which houses Megamart, Jamaica National, and Island Grill. Scott, you look like you need a crash program drinking course before your next class. St. Mary businessman shot dead by a masked gunman, wife escaped unharmed. Now, a businessman was killed, but his common law wife escaped serious injury when a masked gunman attacked them outside their business establishment in Rainwater, St. Mary on Thursday. A place that, dead is 54 Delroy Hall of Huddersfield in the parish. Now, reports reaching, Observer published it, are that about 6:20 p.m., Hall and his female companion were standing outside their business place when a masked man armed with a handgun scaled a fence. The gunman then opened fire, hitting Hall in the upper body before fleeing the scene. The woman, who reportedly ran when the gunfire started, was unharmed. Hall was assisted to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Now, head of the St. Mary Police, Superintendent Bobette Morgan Simpson, says no motive has yet been identified for the fatal attack, noting that a probe is ongoing at this time. I just remember somebody did contribute to his stream earlier. Big up on yourself and make glimpse of what I talk about. Appreciate the support. You understand? No, teacher. Teaching Council Bill review pushback. As March was fully booked for committees in Parliament. That's funny. There was a big thing, it wasn't a big thing, but there was a lot of conversation surrounding the limited number of people available for committees in Parliament as different bills have been tabled and them are trying to push them through the house, especially the new Firearms Act and some other things. I saw another thing where JPS have one something, I remember what his name, Zane, where them a use a kill whip on a local level like, and them a try to get rid of it. You understand? So that the one next year, I know them a work on, so I go watch and see. Because we don't trust people. So as the government legislative agenda gets into high gear, a joint select committee on the Jamaica Teaching Council Act 2022 has set an April date, April 1, you know, for its second meeting, All Fools Day. Even as, allow me to tell you on April 1, I just mean to that. Just like how you're born April 1. I set an April date for its second meeting, even as the month of March has already been booked for other committee deliberations. April 1 you're born with you, though?
No.
When?
April.
You're born the whole of April?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's why you head for the big stuff. So, on Tuesday, the Joint Select Committee reviewing the Firearms Act 2020 scheduled 11 days in March to hold deliberations. Oh, so they might deliberate over the act for 11 days in March. Cool. The rush to secure dates for upcoming committee meetings expose the limited resources of Parliament, with Hansard writers operating way below their established complements. It is understood that at present, there are 5 Hansard writers, fewer than half of the 11 needed to record the contributions and debates of lawmakers during parliamentary or committee meetings. Now, Senator Cavan Gale urges fellow committee members on Tuesday to start identifying early dates for upcoming meetings as there were competing interests. Now, Chairman of the committee, Fable Williams Antife, told committee members that the next meeting was scheduled for April 6th. I want April about the Tuesday, 11?
Yeah.
Still the first, 1-on-1. Say a word.
Not arguing with you.
You don't have to argue with me because you're born All Fools Day. I be a scientist born April 1. Me know people are born April 1 and the only science them know about, you see? I want when I send them aside.
I had somebody that was born April 1. I had a good friend that was born April 1.
You had? So then there?
Yeah. I don't have the friends like that.
Oh, no good again. I never your good friend, man. I did your friend.
Yeah, good enough friend.
Oh, good enough friend. Okay. So now, a deadline of March 27 has been set for stakeholders and other interested persons or organizations to make submission to the bill. You know, I mean a submission to the bill. The bill seeks to establish the Jamaica Teaching Council, JTC, and define its functions. Repeal the functions of the Teachers Services Commission, TSC, relating to registration, discipline, and assessment of the qualifications of teachers, and repeal certain provisions of the Education Regulations of 1980. The bill will also regulate the practice and professional conduct of teachers. The proposed law set out the functions of the JTC, which is to register and license teachers, grant authorization to teach, investigate the fitness to teach of any person who is seeking to be registered and licensed, among other things. So we're not going to know. Section 24 of the proposed law states that a person shall not practice as a teacher unless the person is duly licensed or is an instructor. A person who contravenes this provision and teaches without a license commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction in a parish court to a fine not exceeding $500,000. You don't long teacher work forget that, much less figure pay that. Yes, Rasta. It is coming. I truth is still some teacher now gonna work after when did this reach? Cause some are not fit. That's truth. You understand?
That's true.
What is the act is about teach? The firearm? No man. The teaching council bill, the one that we are talking about. And the teaching, the education sector. We are talking about FLA, you know, man. Because no. Call Uncle Currie. Before I say anything about the firearms, the FLA situation, even though I did a video about the Jack Ure situation, I am great. Yeah?
Disclaimer?
No, not a disclaimer per se, you know.
Okay.
I am a bit concerned about Jack Ure's name being released and other people's name being released whose
Yes.
permits have been revoked. I don't like it. The firearm situation, we have a gun culture in Jamaica. And someone just want to know say you have it or you don't have it no more. Then, it is Shane Dallin and Audley Carter, I think the chairman name. I don't know if Audley called the name, but I know Shane calls her name. I don't know what would have motivated them to call, to list these names. I know them say about 200 people's permits have been revoked because they were issued a permit after the board recommended that they were not fit and proper. A serious thing I'm going on, hold on, they don't move. But Jack Cure was singled out. Zane.
Yeah, I saw
As a
this
matter of
thing.
fact, there was an article detailing his situation from application to refusal to him getting the thing and all sort of something. So listing names, I don't think that necessary. That is just my thing. You understand? We're seeing where a compound chief, Richard Currie's name was also listed, and it was stated that he did not renew his 2 permits. Yeah, man, but I think in kind of gun them the day after or something like that. We soon get to that. Because of Valerie Nita and Lion, and she was on the warpath that day there, one of them time there. See? But it has been well documented that the FLA has been and apparently still is an entity that has been plagued with by corruption down the years.
Okay.
There have been my favorite word recently is replete, you know. It just is a beautiful word.
You just learned it?
No, but I know the word long time. When it was sometimes it's just like one girl, you know her for a long time, but a long
No,
time
I
no
don't.
see her, and you know, you book her up somewhere and the thing
I
just
don't know.
the thing just clicks. So tell me, I tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. And the thing just click. You see it? Yeah man, and yeah man. So we just buck up back on the word replete.
A fool.
Yeah. There have been instances in the past where ministers of national security have granted gun license to people whose application were rejected on the grounds that they had adverse criminal traces and were ex-cons and all sort of things. Because the Minister of National Security, as far as I remember, has the authority to go against a recommendation made by the FLA, you know. And then if you have it, me talk about that already. See? Me talk about that already. So, but then if you have it, me don't know if they still got it, you know. But then if you got it. I think the last time I spoke about it was when Montague name always in some things. He granted some licenses. I don't remember how much because I don't want to lie upon him, but to some people where the investigative part of the FLA said no forget it.
Say no.
Right. Alright. Now, current CEO Shane Dallin had a press conference earlier in the week and all hell broke loose. And it's still breaking loose. A lot was said. As a matter of fact, I have reached out to the FLA before, formally and informally, trying to get a sit down with Mr. Shane Dallin. Why? Because having been doing this for a while, many people have expressed their views and have asked questions on when we stream, and we then like get some answers. You understand? But too small like, you know, really answer. They didn't even respond to the teacher. You see it? But say, they see them for other places. I do interview. True, you understand? But me not feel away. Probably one day. You see it? Yeah. But say, you know, for the next serious level, you know. So the meeting, the press conference, a lot of things were revealed. My suspicion is that he never got if he say certain things. But the questioning from the journalists, and because the FLA has been under scrutiny recently, I don't know if this was an attempt to defend self. So, me just call some name and no business. You can't call no man name in a public forum there, in a situation like this. I don't think it is right. You understand? Mr. Darling, because some people are saying if he resign, you know. He must say him not going away. Because he's trying to clean up the corruption at the FLA. That's why they might try to get him out.
So let me ask a question. So all of this corruption that is being unmuted was before his time?
Apparently.
Okay.
Before him a CEO. I don't know if he did still a part of the agency at the time, but him a CEO. Apparently.
Okay.
See? He must say, as a matter of fact, I saw a release from the OPM, Office of the Prime Minister, so them not really looking to dismissing him at the moment still. So I don't know. Look like he's on solid footing. You see? Him and former FLA chairman, I don't know if a chairman or CEO, Meadows, Dennis is first name?
Yeah.
Have been exchanging fiery words recently. As
so
Dennis.
the former and the present.
Right.
Okay.
So Dennis assess on things and I point some fingers and he not really call a name, but he assess on things. And Shane assess on things, but Shane not call a name. Rough. Today or yesterday? Yesterday, Dennis Meadows and Crystal Tomlinson had a very, very public brawling, falling out on Twitter. Me say Dennis eventually apologized. You understand? Yeah. He said some things to the extent say Crystal at baby mother number 30. So you know, I can't keep up with this sitting there. Crystal said some things say what should do with her vagina and her reproductive life of your business.
It wasn't called for.
Some other person. The man got to for a Rasta judge.
It wasn't called for.
So he must apologize. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So you know, make deal with the thing at hand. Gun racket. If you even have bicycles bracket, make them have it. Darling unveils firearm license corruption ring at FLA. Firearm Licensing Authority FLA CEO Shane Darling has released a barrage of allegations against several employees at the under fire entity, claiming that an extortion ring once headed by a former senior official benefited key players in the $6.5 billion gun industry. Can I drink little water?
You couldn't give her water too?
You know, one jump on your stop, one tank. You can drink that whole water and that.
Why?
You're not drinking Crystal Light. The bombshell revelation came Tuesday during a press conference at the AC Hotel in New Kingston, where Darling told journalists that corrupt practices were widespread across the three offices of the FLA in Montego Bay, Mandeville, and St. Andrew. But I think there's an office in St. Ann now, you know. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess corruption reaches so yet then, because they don't call for them name. Yeah, man, one office there St. Ann, I think, we opened not so long ago. Darling said between 2014 and 2017, more than 200 people with criminal convictions or adverse traces were granted firearm licenses, including dancehall artist Jacure, a well-known corporate area don, and an ex-convict who returned to the island after being extradited. I don't agree with the name calling. I just call it in and call it right in an article already. You understand?
But
no. Remember say you know, part of the problem with this now is that you have people whose criminal record is clean, never got station, police never put them pan there and then whip and sways like. You understand? And they have struggled. And the next thing that I should point out is that sometimes a man apply for gun license, in, and he not get it. Sometimes all your woman make it not get it, you know. Nah, man, there are many cases where, I don't know how many, but there are cases where women have written letters to the FLA asking them not to grant them partner no gun license. Because of that, the FK, one of the things, you know, based on what I hear, when your application is rejected, you are not given a reason as to why it is rejected, you know. So there has been calls to declare the cause for rejection. However, what the FLA is saying is that that's not right, that's not safe. Because what you're going to do, you're going to mash up some friendships and mash up some relationships. Because sometimes the people them closest to you say you not forget you, you know. So I know look at things with that look at gun thing, you know. But because we have a gun culture around here, like Jamaica, we really have a gun culture.
But,
yeah?
but sir, sometimes the people closest to you will have a good enough reason to say you shouldn't get.
Then me not have no issue with that.
Yeah.
Then me not complain, I say tell you. Say that a part I think. So as a man will come on and say, yo, me apply how much time on her and tear.
Your wife make you get
Teach you get a reason for her, brother. You're a fool. Because if you feel something, you're going to adjust that you but I'm not surprised because you work 31 hours in a 24-hour day. A silver. See? So, while some man will complain, say look how much time they apply on this and that and that and that and that and that and that and that. Fine. Sometimes the people then when you expect, make you not get it. That's just a reality that. See? And a man now will tell us say, yo, them have anger issue and then sit down when them tell us say FLA not give them gun and then sit down either. So that's the next thing. But watch you now. Watch you. FLA has been as an agency plagued with all sorts of things down there. That's a fact. We can't go around that. You understand? And FLA has allowed themselves to be corrupted by people, especially with money and names. I don't know them, but me hear things. You understand? So we continue. We sure with it? We want one part? We sure? Yeah, alright, yeah. During, show me there. So documents seen, and I Gleaner write the article, let me declare that. Documents seen by the Gleaner also showed that Clint Rennie, the brother-in-law of Dennis Meadows, former deputy chair of the FLA board, was among the more than 200 people of questionable character granted licenses. Dennis Meadows is the same brother with man Crystalina things, you know.
Yeah, but he's the current, correct?
No, Shane Darling is current.
Okay.
Meadows is farmer.
Okay.
Right? So his brother-in-law, who apparently has questionable adverse traces, was granted, apparently, a gun license. He said, from an article like that, guys, there are so many articles we read about that something I since we never as a script them, you understand? So we just have job bits and pieces. Him said he had declared at the time that the person was a family member. So I don't know. See? Alright, now we'll continue. During the period where persons were getting gun licenses under questionable circumstances, everybody made money from it, said Darling. This would include trainers, you know, when they're sitting there, see, who generate approximately $40 million annually, according to documents seen by the Gleaner. Range operators, who bring in just under $90 million. Wow. Gun dealers at $325 million. And security companies, $5.6 billion. Ammunition sales amount to roughly $452 million per year.
Lucrative industry.
What do you mean? Then I wrong one me,
Look, sir.
In fact, during the period 1 year, dealers sold $1.2 billion worth of firearms based on the sheer volume of persons who were getting gun licenses. So the dealerships across the country benefited from the corrupt practices Darling alleged. He said based on restrictive measures implemented at the FLA, which resulted in fewer people being granted licenses, dealers have seen a concomitant reduction in sales and profits. Kind of mean they're related, but long story short. I mean, they have to research a word they think. I mean, they know what I mean. The CEO said those developments have spurred several people to lobby for his removal from the post, which he has held since 2017. Some of them, he said, have argued that the slowdown in sales has caused the shuttering of their businesses. They feel that the policies being implemented are strict and are affecting their business, Darling said. Darling said that the unnamed former FLA official who sought to extort applicants millions of dollars, because this is what one of the things that Dennis Meadows has said, So he know of somebody who pay $1.2 million to get a license after them were rejected. And somebody from the FLA called them and tell them to deposit 6,000 US in a one whole heap of something. There's a voice note, a call recorded that was played by the Gleaner. I've been listening to it. I'm tired. I can't keep up with them. I'll be a bullet of fire. Watch it. Yes. So, Darling said that the unnamed former FLA official who sought to extort applicants millions of dollars resigned, and this is a part of the problem now, Scotty British. Resigned without sanctions after learning that the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency was investigating the matter.
But resigning, does that negate that they...
No, it doesn't. Because if Mocha look into it and then find traces, you still can be charged. You understand? But that is a part of our culture. We resign without consequences.
Cut and run.
Alright, I could continue. Darling slammed the Ministry of National Security, which he said was not without blame because it did nothing to cauterize the situation even after learning about the extortion ring. In fact, it mushroomed among the staff and it was now widespread what was taking place. So the Ministry of National Security was aware of what was taking place, he said, adding that there is correspondence from the ministry warning the board to cease the practice of granting licenses to individuals who are going through the appeal process, having been denied a license. Oh, a man, you deny him a license. He appealed, and the appeal process not done, but him get license. Then that can't make no sense. Some of the gun permit applicants had convictions for murder.
Hold on. So the Ministry of Security,
National Security
wrote to FLA asking them to cease and desist from this practice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they knew what was going on.
That
But
means
they did not do enough to remedy the situation. Ask me why.
Why? The answer.
You take too long.
The answer.
Some of the gun permit applicants had convictions for murder, firearm offenses, and drug trafficking. In the case of Dennis Meadows' brother-in-law, documents show that he was convicted for possession of cocaine and had his application denied in August of 2015 on the basis that he failed to disclose his criminal conviction. Without submitting an application for appeal or making a new application, he was granted a license in June of 2016, 3 months after Meadows joined the FLA board. I'm a new one. What's son? A creator?
I'm a new creation.
I'm a new creation because I couldn't be creator. I'm a new creation. I'm a brand new man.
All things
All things are passed away. I'm born again. More than hour? More than hour? More than something. That's who I am. I'm a new creation. I'm a brand new man. The license was later revoked in February of 2020. No, I not say nothing, you know, but I say something. You understand? I not say because Meadows become member of the FLA board while my brother-in-law get the license after I did reject. I not say that, you know. But I say it look weird. For 3 months after, gun license into play. Oh, I am a conqueror. That's why. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Come on, church. Sing with me, man. Yeah, sir? Eh. More than a conqueror. Yes, Erica. Me see it. Me see it. Me see it. Thanks. I will go back. Where there is corruption, there is crime. Where there is corruption, there is crime.
That's crazy though.
Alright. Let me continue. Teach them. Loving there, have you laughing. I never see you laugh so much. It's crazy.
Loving there, you know your name.
I told me it's a shortwood man.
Got by name.
At the blinking bus stop in halfway tree. I was standing, waiting patiently.
You have fire because me laugh.
When a half-empty bus pulled up, you see, and a maga conductor shouting loudly. Him shouted, "Shortwood!" and him look at me. Yo, Jaja, I felt so guilty. Him say, "Shortwood." How could he know? When I'm a chatty girl, must have told him so. Yo, Jaja. Yeah, want to see part 2. I went Tuesday then time there, sir. I could continue, because I know people are cussing and say teach. I feel like we are talking about, because they're miserable, you know. Part 2 at Tuesday, man. 7:30. Make it a date, I don't be late. Don't look for it. Get book for it. Alright, ready? Yes. We shall start it. Meadows confirmed to the Gleaner that he was part of the board that approved Rennie's license, but said that he declared at the time that he was related to him. He denied allegations made by Darling, who raised grave concern about his conduct as an FLA director, calling the CEO's utterances incendiary and defamatory. I am a straight shooter, that's funny, and speak my mind openly and forthrightly. I do so without fear or favor, he said. The former FLA deputy chairman said he has forwarded recordings of the press conference to his attorneys. This would include, which are we there? Let me mix up this. Yeah. You know, so let me mix up this.
No.
Yeah, man. Him say him send some things to him attorney for the recordings and thing. So now, we talk about the Jack Currie situation. So basically, as I said, I read an article where I think 10 weeks after Jack Currie was released from prison, he applied.
Oh.
I think. His application was rejected. However, yes.
So isn't it that once you have a criminal record, you naturally can't live?
It depends on what kind of criminal record.
Okay.
Because you cannot drive and lick down somebody and manslaughter that. It's a criminal record, but you understand? I don't know that would prevent you from getting a gun. You see?
Okay. Okay.
So I suppose it depends on what you
What
were
you were
convicted
charged with.
for. Let me see if I can find the article there.
Okay.
Because Mark, you know, me don't tell him say, me not agree, say, the man them name for publish, you know. But,
Yeah, man.
since as me I talk about it, me just a talk about it.
I don't think it's safe to publish them.
But you can't save Scotty. You can't save it. Right. So this now, listen to this here. FLA rescinded Jacqueur's license after Director of Investigation wrote to ex-CEO. Here we go. The approval of a gun license to reggae artist Jacqueur was rescinded only after the FLA's Director of Investigations pressed the Dennis Wright chaired board. This article was published by Nationwide. And me write it. Because this is somehow, no? Feel like me and mine, no? Watch it, let me continue. So now, say, only after the FLA's Director of Investigation pressed the Dennis Wright chair board, so the chairman at the time was Dennis Wright, apparently. Them full of Dennis, though. Over its decision to grant the license to a man convicted of violent crimes. The case is another in a string of questionable decisions by the then FLA board to reverse itself without any discernible new information to support its decision. So concerned was the Director of Investigation about the board's reversal of the denial. So basically this is the board did them investigation and they denied the application. The board chair, I suppose, reversed the decision of denial and granted the license. So it is the person who led the investigation now was so concerned that they write to the board. Watch out, I could continue. So concerned was the Director of Investigation about the board's reversal of the denial, she wrote to the then acting CEO Lincoln Allen, or the CEO right to, stressing the crimes for which Jacqueur had been convicted. Jacqueur's given name, Sicator Alcock, he applied for a gun license in December of 2014. After a thorough investigation into Mr. Alcock's background by the FLA, the police and the courts, the FLA board denied his application in June of 2016. Oh, so that's a 2-year period basically, almost 2 years. 1 year and some months.
Some change.
Dennis Meadows and 2 other directors were signatories to the decision to deny him the license. To deny him, you know. Right?
We hear that, man.
The basis for the refusal of the license, as recorded in the official document, was that Jacqueur was determined not to be a fit and proper person under the Firearms Act. Still, for reasons which are unclear, just 3 months later, in September of 2016, the FLA board revisited its decision and approved the license to Jacqueur. No explanation is given for the reversal of the decision which was made 3 months prior. Yes. Yes.
My question is that, is there a guideline that after you have denied someone's application, when is that application revisited? Wouldn't it have to be appealed
Right.
and then revisited?
I think you can't apply after until a time, I'm not sure.
But
So I
3
don't want
months
to
is
lie.
kind of a little bit-
Right. Good question. Wrong person. The authority proceeded to write to Jacqueur on October 12, advising him that his application had been approved. It gave 3 conditions for the approval. The receipt of outstanding security clearance, evidence of Jacqueur's success in the prescribed FLA firearm competence assessment, and confirmation that the facility required for the secure storage of the firearm and ammunition was in place. On November 21st, 2016, Jacqueur's file was requested on the authority of the then FLA chairman, Dennis Wright. It is not clear why the chairman requested the file. A day later, November 22nd, 2016, the authority's director of investigation wrote to the acting CEO urging the rescinding of Jack Currie's gun license. The director detailed to the CEO the crimes for which Jack Currie had been convicted and the term of imprisonment imposed for the crimes. She stressed that the crimes cannot be expunged on the existing law. She told the acting CEO that for those reasons, Jack Currie was unsuitable for the grant of a gun license. On that same day, November 22nd, 2016, the FLA board overturned itself and rescinded Jack Currie's gun license. The reason for reversing itself was on the ground that Jack Currie is not a fit and proper individual to be granted a license, as the investigation did say from the beginning. This was information. Now I'm done read. This was information the FLA already had when they reversed its earlier denial and approved the license in September of 2016. No new information is presented on the file to indicate why the FLA board denied, approved, and then rescinded its decision. What do you want?
No, I'm just saying, like, it just really don't make the sense. No new information came in. So it's not like you can say, all right, something new pop up, and based on what came up, we have no.
Something would have come in, but I no info. Drink a crystal light, my friend, when I drink my water. These things cannot. This is not a Jack Currie thing. This is a situation that continues to plague this country. You can't reapply before 2 years. Silver D say you can't apply before 2 years.
Okay.
So, I know.
What?
Make we done. Make we move on. Currie turns over firearms to FLA. This was published in the Star. Yeah, many of
And be clear when you get info from
yes. Because some people out there, they're not easy. The Star has been reliably informed that embattled Marine Chief Richard Currie handed, I don't remember which day, handed over his gun to the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, a day after the agency's CEO, Shane Dalling, said he was in breach of the Firearms Act. Dalling, during a FLA press conference on Tuesday, disclosed that Currie was issued with 2 gun permits. I don't know why that needed to have been said though. You understand? Because, look, the whole license firearm thing, it is delicate. There's supposed to be a certain level of confidentiality and privacy surrounding it. You understand? So, for list the names in public, me not think that right. You see me? Me not think it right. Whether Jack Currie or Rennie or Currie, if you just say there are people who you don't have to call nobody name. This could have been worded in such a way where you don't call nobody name. You understand what I say? If you approve a point, so just make the point saying that you have people who have 2 permits, they have been expired and then renew them, so that person is in breach. You have a man where in brother-in-law used to sit on him, but you don't have to call him name, make people go do the research. You understand what I say? Even so, an entertainer who, you see me I say? A million entertainers we have about here.
I've come to recognize this a lot of them.
We have come to recognize a lot of them, eh?
Yeah.
So make we continue. Yes. So he outlined that Currie failed to renew his gun license and that the matter was referred to the police. According to the news team's source, Currie, with a traveling party of more than 5 people, arrived at the FLA's St. Andrew office about 3:45 p.m. He left 45 minutes later. Currie is being represented by prominent Queen's Counsel Valerie Robertson, The source informed that Currie, who is colonel of the Accompong Maroons in St. Elizabeth, had attempted to apply for a new permit but was denied. The Star also understands that Currie's gun permit was up for renewal from September of 2021. The news team attempted to get a comment from Nita Robertson, but calls to her mobile went straight to voicemail. No worry, we'll soon get it, don't move. Last year, the regulatory body said it would investigate Currie following the release of a video on social media that showed a confrontation between him and members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force in Beth Salem, St. Elizabeth. In the video, Currie was heard telling the police to leave the area after they allegedly went there to destroy marijuana plants, and Currie had a shotgun slung over his back. Now, make we continue. Currie's attorney blasts the FLA head over disclosure of gun permit. Me agree with. Say, she fi blast them, man, because you can't do that. The attorney, and this is not no defense of Currie, if you're going to renew your gun permit, you're going to renew them. But let it not be said that the FLA exposed the man's information. You understand what I say? The attorney for Accompong Maroon Chief Richard Currie is taking issue with remarks made by the head of the FLA about the status of her client's gun permits. Yeah, we say all of that. No, let me read it still. So, during the press conference, you know, Darling said that Currie was in breach of the Firearm Act. According to him, Currie was issued with 2 gun permits which have now expired. He also indicated that Currie failed to renew his permits and that the matter was referred to the police. Now, attorney at law Valerie Nita Robertson has described the disclosure of Currie's information in the public domain as irresponsible and grossly unprofessional and expose her client to danger. I am in agreement with that part.
Yeah.
In any issue regarding a firearm holder, ought not to be in the public. Imagine teach them, you know. Name call like that.
Oh Lord.
Because if they call Currie name and Jackie name, they can call my name, so you know. If me in a position for them call my name, so.
Should we are yes?
But man, star, they're not no safe. Imagine you say case cut. Thing no update. Then me then dark about you know. Me man bad. But when we go on, you know, a serious thing assist when you laugh, but it's serious, you know.
No. I might smirk and laugh, but it is serious, sir. I'm in agreement with you. It's irresponsible.
Any issue regarding a firearm holder ought not to be in the public place for the obvious reasons. I mean, the obvious is true. Mr. Darling spoke about his safety, but has totally disregarded the safety of Chief Currie, she charged. We wish to state that our client is a respectable citizen of Jamaica and leader of a distinct society within Jamaica, known as the Maroons. We further wish to state that at no time did the firearm licensing authority contact or speak to our client regarding the matter or any other matter. Neither was there any notification to him for him to surrender his firearm, as required in law. It is false for anyone to state that his firearm was turned in, as that was not so. So you see, the article before said it was turned in. Valeria said, not no go so. But the next thing when I think Valerie need to acknowledge to, if the permit them up from September, FLA no need to call you. And you figure sort out the thing. You understand? So now tell me say FLA never FLA no need to contact you if you know say your permit up. You're gonna renew it.
As isn't it once your permit is up, then it's not
it's a gunman.
Not a legal piece.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
You sure with it? Was nuts. Okay, so Nita Robertson argued that no Jamaican whose failure to renew a firearm license on time has been advertised to the general public, contending that the publication of such information runs contrary to the FLA's policy regarding privacy and security. I agree with Valerie as a 100%. We are also of the view that our client is being unfairly treated, as the usual practice at the FLA is to warn the license holder if he is out of time in respect of renewal and to facilitate that renewal. But Valerie thinks it's September, mama. And I like a December, a January, you know, a September.
But
Yes.
just playing devil's advocate, I think that maybe the chief might be getting
A fight?
I don't want to use the word a fight, but a little side glance.
Then me can't answer if you don't use no word.
And that I don't want to use the word fight. That's what I said. So I'm saying a little side glance.
I don't
Because
know.
of what's
I don't know.
already happening.
Could be anything
Just
possible
ask
about
him.
it, brother, because
Ask him.
corruption run deep and wide, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I can't speak to that specifically because I have no information to say so. You understand? But
Okay.
I would not sit down and pretend like, you know, possible.
Okay.
Right. Very possible. Knowing how things run about here. You see? I would hope not, though.
I would hope that.
You understand?
But I wouldn't be shocked if it
Right.
was.
And I would also hope that Currie, who is an intelligent man, who has a great understanding of the laws, if you know that your permit expired from September,
Go and get it sorted out.
the onus is on you to have it rectified. We can't go around that. You understand? And on the flip side of that, Shane Darling is absolutely wrong to publicly call the man name in the situation. Make we continue. In recent times, there has been a waiver granted by the FLA in respect of failure to renew, at the designated time because of curfew and COVID restrictions. But we're not really at that now, like, still. Consequently, penalties which were usually paid for a late renewal were declared waived by the FLA. Oh yeah, then things did go on. The attorney expressed that she hopes that her client is not being targeted. I hope so to Valerie. As every effort will be made to ensure that his constitutional rights are respected and protected as they should be. As they should be. Zine? Now, let me say the next thing before me done with that something here. Temporarily, because you know we're not going to be live. If Shane Darling's utterances that he is strident and he intends to clean up the FLA are true, I hope it is done. However, Mr. Darling, in your pursuits of you quote unquote cleaning up the FLA, you cannot become unjust and unprofessional.
Alright.
I'm still have a few questions about Mr. Darling. But if he affords me the opportunity
About or for Mr. Darling?
for Mr. Darling.
Okay.
But if he affords me the opportunity, I will be more than happy to ask these questions. So, Mr. Darling, if you're watching, or if there's anybody at the FLA watching, I would appreciate the opportunity to have a sit down to address some of the concerns that I, as a taxpaying Jamaican citizen, have as it relates to the FLA, and also to bring across some views that would have been shared by my viewers and questions.
And maybe offer a little clarity where it's a
Right.
little bit cloudy.
Yes. So, whilst I have no media accreditation, I have a little sense. That should count for something. I would think so. You understand? My questions are not harder than nobody else's question. I'm not going to mince them, but they're not harder than nobody else's question. You
Maybe
decide
you
if
have
you
to
want to
write
answer.
the
Eh?
Maybe you have to set pre-done questions where you have to send them in.
Me don't love the interview them. I don't interview
You
them
decide if
there.
you want to answer.
Eh?
What is it?
Interview for natural and organic. Just flow.
But people don't want to be ambushed.
Then no answer a question.
But then it looks the way
That
not
then
to answer.
fine. Don't answer a question. I am not in a position to speak on that matter at this time.
You know, some people pack up 2 big stone back up some bush and we wait for most your fire.
You know, I think God still. But me just say, you understand? No, but in all honesty, I have not written to them like sit down and pen a letter. But I have tried via places that they are to initiate a conversation as to a possible interview.
Okay.
You understand? I was told by somebody in the know that will never happen. But me I go and try.
But it is a trial of the thing.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Look, we are at a delicate stage in our history where the gun continue to claim countless lives. Licensed firearm holders have in the past and will in the future provide some form of resistance to the proliferation of murders in the country. And as such, if there are Jamaicans whose credibility, character, and background suggests that they are competent enough and apply for a firearm and there's no adverse traces, there should be no need for any exchange of monies, any exchange of favors, because licensed firearm holders are also a buffer between good and evil in this country. Yeah? This is something that should be treated with utmost urgency. There should be every effort expended to rid the agency of rogue agents, of hustlers, of extortionists, and people who are hell-bent on corrupting the process. You cannot have a situation where laws and guidelines are put in place and they immediately disappear because of monies changing hands, or boards changing, or board members changing. Sit away.
I would really love for it though to be cleaned up.
It has to be cleaned up, sis. This is the prime opportunity to clean the slate.
But you know we have a tendency of sweeping under the rug.
Take up a rug and bunny. A raw concrete floor we are walk on, brother.
If you burn the rug, then you expose everything that could have been swept.
Right, and how you going to fix it if you don't expose it?
But do we want it fixed?
Me want it fixed. Me I talk for myself.
You can only speak for yourself.
Right. That's what I always tell people. So I come here so me just talk for myself. You understand? Because, Scotty, and I've said this before, you know, I'm going to say it again, you know. Many shootings and murders in Jamaica are committed by licensed firearm. I don't say licensed firearm only, you know. I say licensed firearm. Because enough man lend them friend, you know what? Look, uno fix it, you know. Uno fix it.
Just like I become a selling my slippers.
Uno fix it. Scott, there are men serving time because police find for them gun for next man, you know.
It was stolen.
Be from beside me, sir. And you will see me and not come and tell me, say, that man no thief your gun stolen.
I was on my way to
remember a situation in Bronson, I think it was a party, where police run in for the party and some search go on. He lights the firearm holder in there, and the man we have a gun in there, and he lights the firearm holder have a gun in there. I next man.
In Becky Wally field.
Oh, okay.
It did heavy. If asking for Wally field, please.
What me feeling now, Rosie? Only love me got. Because me let know the mercy, me not get it back yet. Yeah, alright, Scott. Ballistics aren't done on victims. Yeah. Yes. Right, you know, I remember saying, you know, based on the info, the investigation, you have to do a ballistic test. You have to register the ballistic signature of your weapon. But when money involved, boom.
You know,
You Scotty just a sweep on the carpet.
can't live without money and it causes so many different.
Greed.
Ain't no been a greedy for money. I just want to have enough to be comfortable.
You're too close to your wall.
So, but they're far from the wall.
But you're still too close to it.
No,
So,
we are gonna have to
whatever
reach
in
from
front
it,
of this, so
like-
I have to move. Now, let me tell the people
Whatever.
what did there. But what did there, I have to move, I have to push back the camera further, come forward, and when we fix
Further
up the
to that
background. Right.
Okay.
So you need a,
Remember, say you will fix it.
right, but me
Because
not,
it could go back further.
yeah, but me not move your grip and your
We don't see me either.
you don't see me. So, I need some depth and then something.
If you pull a crap one more time.
No, but on a serious level, though, sis,
I want it fixed.
it is too easy for government entities and agencies to be corrupted, yeah?
I would have just said government agencies and entities.
What would you say?
All agencies and entities. Cause
The government
alright,
one
hold
is
on.
easier, man.
No, I don't think so.
You try?
That's if I try what?
Corrupt them.
Trying to no sir.
Right.
I
So
wouldn't.
though you know
I-
say
I-
easier than the next one.
I stay within the confines of the law. I'm a
Okay, do
law
that,
abiding
do that.
citizen. Right? I'm afraid of trouble.
Okay.
But alright, this is what when you say government agencies and entities are easily corrupted, it kind of paint a little picture to say that they are more susceptible to the corruption.
They are.
The private entities. Why?
But 'cause the thing is that even if a private entity is corrupted,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
we are in greater danger when government agencies are corrupted because these are the people who should be upholding the laws of the land. A private citizen can do what they want, enough to do it because the law is the law. But when a government entity exposes you as a citizen of this country, then you ain't a problem, brother.
No.
So, if you understand what I try to say, none of them know
I
for
get
corrupt, but me I say, the police, when you corrupt police officer, then you know what kind of potential problems they can deal with.
A lot.
Versus corrupting a security firm. You see what I say?
Mm-hmm.
It's a rough boy, yeah, man. Look, we cannot talk about we want to fight crime if we are not fighting corruption same time. Because corruption and crime are husband and wife, brother and sister, them are family, psyche and trim.
And as I always say that we are on the bandwagon to fight crime and corruption if it is not close to home.
Conditional.
If it's not close
Conditional justice we love both. Yeah. We like the perception of
where the problem
justice, but conditionally.
and that's where the problem comes in because I am all good, yes. If you're rape, prison fail, life sentence.
But when your family member, you know, shoot them out.
I need, then it now becomes, in do it,
But it ain't mean for do it. A good boy, you know.
a good.
He grew up in a good home. I just friend and company. Then we give him a chance.
So that's where the problem comes in because if it is that you are against this, it doesn't matter who the perpetrator is, you are against it. So whether your cousin, your family, somebody that you don't know from Adams, it is still the same.
Shoot them out, man. But that's
Shoot
how
them
it go.
out.
I mean, we know many instances where mothers and wives and girlfriends and sisters protect them criminal brother, nephew and son and you understand?
It's sad though,
But them a
as
clamour
I said-
say them man they figure prison but no I think.
As I said, now is the time.
But me tell you
There's
already,
no
you know.
time like now.
Aside from corruption, Zane, the biggest stumbling block to fixing this country is the mentality of the people. Our mentality out of whack, you know, brother. Because again, we are in for conditional justice. Zane? And as long as we are get by, it no matter what we have to do to get by, we just want to get by. So we're going to broke some law to get by, but we want justice and we want a better Jamaica. For too long, Scotty, we have accepted small discrepancies with the law and brush it off as police are fight this and government this and that. And them thing are mushrooming and some big old something you know. Because they are nurture and nurse criminals from them in them infant stages. Eh? You know if you sell there so. No sell there. Yeah. When police come now and things happen here, so them a fight poor people. No, if you never did it and the police now have no Taxi man them is a next story. But policeman and taxi man square off, police will go look for gunman. Now there's no demarcation between gunmen and many taxi men these days. You have many good taxi operators. Mr. Never big up yourself. You understand? But Sir Evans and the man them and number 18 and the man them, all are real taxi man them boy place, big up on themselves. I can't call people in real name. You understand? Big up on yourself. But many times when police police left taxi man and go look for criminal. Police are look here man. We need I don't know though. It's like a can't-win situation. And brother, if we make matters worse, I hate to be the bring off bad news, you know. But if you don't think it bad now, there is some generation back this and back of them, back this and back of them, back this to come.
Coming up, let me tell you, coming at us with a problem. We're in serious problem. It's not even a joke anymore. Sometimes just standing up and observing them, problem is coming.
All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small. Where is I go? All things bright and wonderful, the Lord God made them all.
You never go primary school?
Then look how long that. You remember last time you sing at primary school?
Yes.
No, miss. You understand? You know what song me sing since me left primary school? If you remember all of them one day.
No, but seriously, those who are coming.
Scotty, you know what I mean, say, a road bumpy down there, man.
So I know road no dead there. You mean road bumpy, are you there? No road no dead there.
Yo.
You ever see when we have that kind of flooding where the water goes under the pavement?
Right.
And takes
and
up
lift you
under that layer. And move with it. That one.
Jaja.
That one for sure, brother. Problem a come, man.
Former radio talk show host Winston Babatunde Witter has died.
I saw that. Condolences to the family.
He was 62 years old. No, Witter died at the University Hospital of the West Indies, where he was admitted on Sunday. He was taken to hospital after he was found unconscious at his home. The popular radio personality, whose career spanned several years at KLAS Radio, was ailing from cirrhosis of the liver, a close friend confirmed. Okay. I think after he was hit from his motorcycle, things just started to go downhill from there. I don't even remember which year that was. Because he was badly injured, and I think he even lost his memory at one point in time and one only for something. You see me? But he created waves back in the days.
That was a hot.
You understand?
Show.
Perkins, Babatunde, them and they burned fire. And Barbara was really fiery still, but people used to listen to Barbara. But Motti, when Motti gave her, Babatunde have a message for you, see? Never let your problems get you down. Think you all were talking about the FLA. Then me don't talk about the FLA.
Then we're still.
I want some money there.
Long and short, we want the FLA to clean up.
Tell me so much thing, I don't talk about FLA. I talk about FLA about half an hour now. Though it seems hopeless, there is no progress. We still also around town.
Who is that, Rodney?
We do what we do, so we stay alive. We sell what we sell, so we have to survive. We tired, daddy. And we fed up from Bo. Them bunny. Because the boss say anytime.
It was back?
Hungry. What? Then you can't tell the people them say anytime hungry again, I'm going to see you now. I would have bunny too. What you mean?
Like, what's wrong with you?
That would have bunny too. But we tell him. Then I would have bunny. I mean, wise, you thought what you thinking about then, you understand? You can't do that. Peace. I call it a night, you know. You understand? Because the people that cuss me think them thing, I don't talk about them things. Yeah? A long time I talk about FLA. I talk about, yeah?
Work tomorrow?
Work tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And then tell us if on Friday coming next day or Monday, you there?
Oh, it's from Friday reach a Monday next day. Hey, remember me have research to do for you. The interview the Monday. But don't edit the part 2 I think so I don't have that for deal with. But the interview, the research I go take a time.
That's the last piece for this one, the part 2?
Yeah, man. I probably give them one little bonus. Because I have some little things I made. You understand? Can give them some bonus. Loving day or night time. But they might get 1.5 hour part 1, 1.5 hour part 2, 3 full hours. So then can't. I don't want nobody make a nice on my head. You understand?
Yeah.
Peeps.
We have put on the helmet the other night.
Yeah, can I tell him, and even after me I tell him whole stream, premiere, people are cuss, saying done. 1.5 hour, you know, brother? I just cut here Gilbert. When it all get nice. Yo, peace, big up on yourself. I saw where there was a landslide, mudslide in Brazil where over 117, 20 people died. Like, when I see the thing, I say, yo, cha-cha, wow. We have to give thanks to life, because you know what thing go. I fall, Moti is the boss. Have a blessed night. Yeah, man. I tell you, the man drop a laugh, man. Ho, 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 ho. Caller. Ho, 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 ho. Peace, big up on yourself. Test stream go on with a little thing. You understand? I don't be seeing more of this because more time I try to save Scotty from coming here. You understand? I try to save our gas money and our car tires.
You're so full of it.
And thing, so I try bring her in our stream from our place of residence. And thing, I set it up nice and, you know what I mean, add some spice and, you see?
Want everything where you have.
Sure.
Aye.
Sure. You have one camera already, and one mic, and one audio interface. We have the same thing there too. Right.
Yeah, like other things you have that I don't.
Okay. So yeah, I get them, man.
Okay.
Anything for you. Anything for you.
You feel awful.
Peeps, big up on yourself. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you on Tuesday, 7:30. Loving Dear, part 2.
Yes,
Because water wet up me, what's it not? You mean you what not? No. Water wet up me, what's it not?
Oh, that teacher who asked if they can get my number.
Then me not even look on that, brother. Light a candle, sing a song key and find your way back home. Me gone, peeps, what good? Big up for yourself.
Good night, guys.
Me soon. You understand? Walk with Jah. Safe travel upon the gravel. Oh, I still not find my outro yet, you know. I'm just going to left with my intro. If I did a clean up my computer, I delete the file. I'm going to make it work.
Oh, yeah.
Man, so you go. I'm gone. I want to hold the intro for your outro. Look more.
Good night.
How are you there?
So you lost that too?
Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them.
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. You're watching the Teach Dim YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. And now,
Broadcasting live.
We will broadcast
live. This is Extra Class, streaming to the world and beyond.
Hey, let's go.
You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.